Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you've noticed that some days your mind feels unusually slow. Names are harder to recall. Concentration seems impossible. Even simple tasks feel mentally exhausting. Many adults over 50 immediately worry about aging when these moments happen. But what if something much simpler could be contributing to that mental fog? What if your brain isn't necessarily aging faster? What if it's simply thirsty? Most people think dehydration is something obvious. They imagine extreme thirst, dry lips, dizziness, or being stranded in the heat. But mild dehydration can happen quietly. And for adults over 50, even small changes in hydration can affect memory, concentration, mood, and mental clarity far more than many people realize. Today, we're going to explore why dehydration can make your brain feel older than it really is, how it affects cognitive function, and what simple habits may help support a clearer, sharper mind. And some of the signs might surprise you. Your brain is made up of roughly 75% water. Every thought you have, every memory you recall, every conversation you participate in, every decision you make, all depend on an incredibly delicate system that requires proper hydration. Water helps transport nutrients to brain cells. It supports communication between neurons. It helps regulate blood flow. And it assists in removing waste products generated during normal brain activity. When hydration levels begin to drop, even slightly, these processes may become less efficient. Imagine trying to drive a car with low oil. The car might still run, but it doesn't run as smoothly. The same thing can happen inside the brain. Research has shown that even mild dehydration may affect attention, reaction time, concentration, and short-term memory. The effects can be subtle. You may not feel dramatically sick. Instead, you may simply feel off. Your thoughts seem slower. You lose focus more easily. Mental tasks require more effort. Many people assume these changes are inevitable signs of getting older. Sometimes they aren't. Sometimes the brain is simply struggling with inadequate hydration. One reason dehydration becomes more common with age is that the body's thirst signals often become weaker. In younger years, thirst usually appears quickly when the body needs fluids. As we age, that signal may become less reliable. You might already be mildly dehydrated before feeling thirsty at all. This creates a problem. Many adults over 50 unintentionally drink less water than their bodies actually need. Several other factors can increase the risk. Certain medications may influence fluid balance. Hot weather increases fluid loss. Physical activity can increase hydration needs. Some people intentionally drink less because they don't want frequent trips to the bathroom. Others replace water with coffee, tea, or sugary beverages throughout the day. Over time, these habits can contribute to chronic low-level dehydration. The result may not always appear as obvious thirst. Instead, it may show up as mental fatigue, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness. And because these symptoms overlap with concerns about aging, dehydration often goes unnoticed. Brain fog isn't a medical diagnosis. It's a term people use when their thinking feels cloudy, sluggish, or less sharp than usual. Many adults describe brain fog as feeling like they are operating through a mental haze. Words don't come as quickly. Focus disappears. Simple tasks seem harder than they should. Dehydration may contribute to this experience in several ways. One important factor involves blood flow. The brain depends on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through the bloodstream. When hydration decreases, blood volume may also decrease slightly. This can make it more difficult for the body to efficiently deliver what the brain needs. Even small reductions may influence mental performance. Another factor involves energy production. Brain cells require a constant supply of nutrients and oxygen to function properly. When hydration is inadequate, brain efficiency may decline. You may notice that tasks requiring concentration suddenly feel much more demanding. Many people blame age, yet sometimes hydration is playing a larger role than expected. One of the biggest fears many adults over 50 have is memory loss, forgetting names, misplacing keys, losing track of conversations, walking into a room and forgetting why. While occasional forgetfulness can happen for many reasons, dehydration may be one of the most overlooked contributors. When the brain is not functioning at its best, memory processes may suffer. Information may not be encoded as effectively. Attention may wander, and if attention isn't fully engaged, memory often struggles. Think about it this way. You can't remember information that your brain never properly processed in the first place. If dehydration reduces concentration, memory performance may appear worse, even when the underlying issue isn't significant cognitive decline. This doesn't mean every memory problem is caused by dehydration, but it does mean hydration deserves far more attention than it usually receives. Sometimes improving hydration can lead to noticeable improvements in mental clarity. The effects of dehydration aren't limited to memory and concentration. Mood may also be affected. Many studies have found links between inadequate hydration and increased feelings of fatigue, irritability, tension, and low energy. Adults often interpret these feelings as stress, burnout, poor sleep, or simply getting older. Sometimes those factors are involved, but hydration may also play a role. When the brain is under physical stress from insufficient fluids, emotional resilience can decrease. Small frustrations feel bigger. Patience becomes shorter. Mental endurance declines. You may feel drained for reasons that aren't immediately obvious. This can create a cycle. Low energy leads to less activity. Less activity may reduce motivation to maintain healthy habits. Mental fog worsens, and people begin worrying that something more serious is happening. In reality, the body may simply be asking for more water. Most people recognize extreme thirst, but many signs of dehydration are far more subtle. Some common warning signs include frequent fatigue, morning brain fog, difficulty concentrating, headaches, dry mouth, feeling unusually sluggish, dizziness when standing, reduced alertness, increased irritability, dark-colored urine. Notice that several of these symptoms overlap with concerns many adults have about aging. That's why dehydration can be so deceptive. It often disguises itself as something else. Many people spend months worrying about their memory or concentration without considering whether they are consistently drinking enough fluids. Hydration isn't always the entire answer, but it's one of the simplest factors to evaluate. Many adults wake up feeling mentally slow. They assume it's normal, but consider what happens overnight. You go several hours without drinking. Meanwhile, your body continues losing water through breathing and normal biological processes. By morning, mild dehydration may already be present. This can contribute to that familiar feeling of mental sluggishness. The brain may not be operating at full efficiency. Focus feels harder. Energy feels lower. Mental clarity seems distant. For some people, drinking water shortly after waking may help improve alertness and cognitive function throughout the morning. It's a simple habit, yet many people overlook it. Instead, they begin the day with coffee alone. While coffee can certainly be part of a healthy routine for many individuals, it shouldn't completely replace water intake. The brain needs hydration first. The goal isn't to obsess over every sip, nor is it to force excessive water intake. Instead, focus on consistency. Here are several simple strategies. Start your day with water. Keep a reusable water bottle nearby. Drink regularly throughout the day rather than waiting for thirst. Increase fluids during hot weather. Pay attention to hydration after exercise. Include water-rich foods such as cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, berries, tomatoes, and soups. Monitor urine color, which can provide a general indication of hydration status. And if you take medications or have medical conditions affecting fluid balance, discuss hydration needs with your healthcare provider. Small habits performed consistently often produce the biggest long-term benefits. Hydration is important, but it's only one piece of brain health. Sleep matters. Physical activity matters. Nutrition matters. Stress management matters. Social connection matters. The healthiest brains are supported by multiple daily habits working together. However, hydration occupies a unique position. Unlike many health interventions, it's simple, accessible, and often overlooked. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need complicated equipment. You don't need a perfect routine. Sometimes supporting your brain begins with something as basic as giving it the water it needs to function properly. And for many adults, that simple change can make a meaningful difference. If your brain has been feeling slower lately, if concentration feels harder than it used to, if brain fog seems to appear without explanation, if memory slips have been causing concern, don't automatically assume aging is the only reason. Dehydration can quietly affect mental clarity, focus, mood, and memory. And because its symptoms often resemble common aging concerns, it's easy to overlook. The good news is that hydration is one of the simplest factors you can improve. A clearer mind may not require a dramatic solution. Sometimes it begins with a simple question: have I given my brain enough water today? Because when your brain is properly hydrated, it often has a better chance to perform the way it was designed to, no matter your age.
Before we conclude, a quick reminder. The information shared in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this channel. Your health is your most valuable asset. Treat it with the professional care it deserves.